Evening. I'm Elaine Corral. Dennis Richmond is on medical leave. In just 24 hours, the two people who were injured when a bomb exploded in a car in Oakland went from victims to official suspects. Amid outrage and denials from the environmentalist group Earth First, police arrested two of the leaders of that group today and accused them, in essence, of causing their own injuries. 40-year-old Judi Bari and 33-year-old Darryl Cherney have been charged with possessing and transporting an explosive device. Investigators said it was how the bomb was placed in the car and the way it was constructed that led investigators to make the arrests, but beyond that, they aren't being specific. Both suspects are being held on $100,000 bail each. Tonight, a crowd of outraged supporters of the two activists has gathered in front of the Oakland police station where Cherney is being held. Bari is still at Highland Hospital under armed guard, recovering from serious abdominal and pelvic injuries. Supporters of the two have told reporters they'll stay camped in front of the jail until officials drop all charges against Bari and Cherney. The protesters say the two environmentalists are pacifists, dedicated to nonviolent action, and that this whole thing smells of a setup. Rob Roth reports on how the story developed today.
This morning, about a dozen members of the environmental group Earth First held a vigil outside the Oakland Police Department. Inside, police announced that Earth First activists Darryl Cherney and Judi Bari, the people injured in yesterday's car bomb explosion, were under arrest.
Ms. Bari and Mr. Cherney were subsequently arrested for possession and transportation of an explosive device. Mr. Cherney was booked into the Oakland City Jail after his release from the hospital. Ms. Bari will be booked in absentia at Highland Hospital.
The explosion happened near the intersection of Park and MacArthur Boulevards yesterday just before noon. Bari was driving her white Subaru with Cherney in the passenger seat when a bomb exploded. Cherney suffered minor injuries. Bari is hospitalized with a fractured pelvis. Police said yesterday they were investigating whether someone planted the bomb in the car or whether the pair was intentionally carrying it and the bomb went off by accident. Today, police say the couple knew they were driving around with a bomb inside.
The decision to arrest was based on the placement of the device in the vehicle, the nature of its construction, physical and other evidence that we developed by the investigators.
Cherney and Bari say they have received death threats in the past because of their anti-logging activism. Police say there's no connection between those threats and the explosion. Cherney and Bari are both folk musicians from Mendocino County, and their supporters say they are nonviolent.
Obviously, someone planted it. Darryl and Judi are on the verge of one of the major, large, nonviolent events of this decade. We are becoming more and more successful, and I think that people who make a lot of money over trashing the forest would like to see Darryl and Judi out of the way.
Police searched this house in South Berkeley yesterday. It's the headquarters for another environmental group, Seeds for Peace. And it's where Cherney spent the night before the explosion. Residents say police trashed the house during their search.
They said, well, we're going to search your house and make sure that you're safe. But they also told us they were looking for bomb paraphernalia.
According to the search warrant, this is what police removed from the house.
The white and red wires with alligator clip, I suppose, miscellaneous papers and mats. I'm not sure why those are gone. Duct tape, Duracell batteries and package, and red wire with tape something.
Friends of the couple say Bari spent Wednesday night with a friend on East 23rd Street in East Oakland. Her car parked on the street all night. In the morning, friends say Cherney and another activist came here from South Berkeley, where the four spent several hours planning a summer environmental protest to save redwood trees.
We worked on that until about around 11:30, and we left. It was about 11. We left and drove about 15 blocks, and the car exploded. So
You were driving behind?
I wasn't driving in front of them. Judi was conscious but kind of out of it and going into shock, and Darryl was bleeding. He had a large gash in his head.
Police say they didn't know where the couple was planning to go when the bomb exploded, but friends say Cherney and Bari were on their way back to the South Berkeley home and that they were planning to go to Santa Cruz last night to play music. Bari and Cherney face arraignment next week, Bari in her hospital bed if necessary, and their supporters say they'll stick by the pair, come what may. In Oakland, Rob Roth for the 10 o'clock news.
In a report in the San Francisco Examiner tonight, one unidentified law enforcement source said the bomb that exploded in Bari's car yesterday was the type of bomb that was, quote, made to hurt people.
Friend of Cherney's denies any connection.
Darryl is a timid fellow. Darryl is a loving person. He is completely nonviolent. And considering the fact that the FBI is trying to portray Earth First as a bunch of nuclear terrorists, with the arrest of the Arizona 5 last year. Now they seem to be trying to portray us as bomb-throwing anarchists.
Well, there you have it. The Earth Firsters are unshakable in their assertion that Bari and Cherney are the innocent victims of a bombing, not the accidental perpetrators.